What's good, Washington fans? So I'm late on this one, but per Michael Lombardi, he said that we do have extreme interest or are very interested in trading for Marcus Mariota. Personally, I'm not against the move. I do like Marcus Mariota. I thought he showed some flashes throughout his career. Former second overall pick out of Oregon. He can run. He fits what Scott Turner and Ron Rivera are looking for. We know that they salivate over mobile quarterbacks. Ron Rivera has talked about it many times that he loves mobile quarterbacks. That's what he wants. And Marcus Mariota is that. He's a mobile quarterback. Now, there is some questions about him being an actual quarterback and throwing the football downfield. He has some flashes here and there with the Titans, but, he ended up getting benched for Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill looked a lot better, or the team looked a lot better. The Titans looked a lot better under Ryan Tannehill when Marcus Mariota ended up getting benched. So that is a concern. And his contract, he's getting paid. If he stays on the Raiders, his contract is $10,625,000. There are a lot of incentives. So if he does start, per Michael Lombardi, basically Michael Lombardi said he's due to make $10 million this year. But if you trade for that contract and you make him your starter, that contract's $20 million because he's got so many incentives in that contract. It's going to be very challenging for you to trade for him without redoing that contract. So if he agrees to restructuring his contract, and then making it $10 million instead of all the incentives, bringing it up to $20 million, then sure, I would definitely make that deal. I wouldn't mind it to bring him in and compete with Taylor Heinicke and Kyle Allen. Now, if he comes in, do I think he would clearly beat out Taylor Heinicke? He should, but I don't know because Taylor Heinicke looked so good in the 1.5 game that he played, and Taylor Heinicke looked really, really good. And he does know Scott Turner's system. Now, Marcus Mariota is a solid quarterback. He's had some good games. He's made a Pro Bowl. He's had some good years in the league. He had one season where he threw 26 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. Yeah, he threw 26 touchdowns to 9 picks. His rookie year, 19 touchdowns to 10 picks. So he did make a Pro Bowl. He did lead the team to a playoff victory as well. He's had 2 winning seasons, so it's not terrible but not great. 11 game-winning drives. Nine comebacks. So I remember the game where he led a comeback against the Kansas City Chiefs. He threw a pass, it got batted, then he caught it and ran it into the end zone. So he basically essentially threw a touchdown to himself. But Marcus Mariota, at one time he was in the top 100, the NFL top 100. He was number 50 in the NFL top 100. So he's accomplished some things in the league. Now he's had some good times in the league and some bad times. He's had a couple of offensive coordinators, a couple of head coaches. So that doesn't really give a quarterback a fair shake, but that's just how it's been for him. But I think he fits the system. He really does. He fits the system. Because like I said, Scott Turner, he loves guys when it's 3rd and 12, 3rd and 11, somebody that can create, get out of the pocket, extend plays. If we need 12 yards, Marcus Mariota surely can run for about 15, 20 yards down the field. The guy can run. He is super, super fast. If you watch that game against the Chargers where he came in when Derek Carr got hurt, and he went off. He had a Heinicke game in the playoffs, basically. He was throwing the ball downfield. He was fearless, taking hits, lowering his shoulder, running for first downs. He had 88 rushing yards in that game. That guy he was super, super fast. And Marcus Mariota, he's super, super mobile. So they would love to have him. I know they would definitely. I think this rumor is true, that they definitely are interested in Marcus Mariota. Like I said, in the one game, he went 17 for 28, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. 9 rushes for 88 yards, 9 yards per carry, and 226 yards passing. So he looked really good. He almost threw another pick, so that's a concern too. He does turn over the football, and sometimes he does take a lot of sacks. And he did lose his confidence with Tennessee, but he looked very, very confident in that game. That game did a lot for him. We're probably not going to be the only team calling for Marcus Mariota after that game. Like I said, if they can restructure his contract, if he agrees to restructure his contract for whatever team that tries to trade for him, then he could have a couple of suitors, maybe the Bears, some other teams like that. Maybe, I don't know about the Colts, but we'll see. But I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't give up anything higher than a 4th round pick. That's the compensation that I would give for Marcus Mariota. Once again, he got benched for a reason with the Tennessee Titans, and he's just not leaps and bounds. He's not a clear-cut franchise quarterback. So if you're going to trade more than a 2nd round pick for a guy, he's surefire better be a franchise quarterback, in my opinion. So I wouldn't give up anything more than a 4th, maybe a 3rd at the most, just because we have 2 3rd-round picks. But at the most, I wouldn't give up a 4th, maybe like a 4th and a 6th rounder or something like that. I know for Case Keenum, we traded like a 6th and a 7th. a couple years ago, but I wouldn't do anything more than a 4th and a 6th or something like that, in my opinion. But yeah, I like Marcus Mariota. I like him. I think he's a gamer. I think he's a tough guy. I think he's shown that he can be a winner. He can be a winning quarterback in the league. He's been to the playoffs and he's won a playoff game. So I would not be upset at all. Like I said, I know the coaches, they would love them some Marcus Mariota. I know they would. So yeah, would he beat out Taylor Heineke? Probably, maybe, probably. I'm not confidently saying that. Taylor Heineke definitely would give him some go. Would he beat out Kyle Allen? He probably would beat out Kyle Allen. But yeah, that's a guy who definitely fits the bill. One year deal, see what he can do. If he doesn't play well, then move on and see what other quarterback options are out there in 2022, in the 2022 offseason. So hearing that Alex Smith wants to come back and play, if it's up to me, I would not bring him back. I would release him and clear up the cap space. You know, I think Alex Smith for all the things that he's done, but I would not keep Alex Smith on the roster, in my opinion. Now, Bill Polian has been hired as a pro personnel director. Haven't really looked him up too much, but we'll probably talk about that later. So, all right, you guys, hail to the football team. Peace.